Welcome to episode 16 of Drew's Basketball Crew here on this Sunday morning. Myself, Drew Skyberg, bringing you your winning lineup on Fantasia Sports. And yeah, with the slate today on Sunday, you might be wondering, why are you recording on Sunday morning? Well, good news is a lot of the games here, we do have a noon one, but you can get some slates here with the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock games, and even later games than that. There's some 6 o'clock ones as well. So that's the reason behind it. But I want to make sure I get out those lineups right. I get out that content for you all, help you build your winning lineup, succeed on February 5th this Sunday. But yeah, let's get to it right away here, and let's go through the slate. So the slate has not many games. So we're gonna have to really maximize value, and we're gonna have to really take advantage of those plays today. When I say that, right, there's total of 6 games, only 12 teams playing. So at noon one, I did mention that's an extreme outlier, Orlando, Charlotte. We're looking in that one. I'll go right away to it. We have some players serving suspensions, right? Mobamba, Jalen Suggs, I believe are both serving it today. I mean, it looks like they're out today, so I believe they're serving it, barring any sort of appeal. So that's more of a thing for, right? I'm looking at Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, of course, Cole Anthony on the bench. I would prefer here, I think I'd go Markelle Fultz today. I mean, I've been on Markelle Fultz like in DFS settings and parlays. I think what Fultz brings, I think he's awfully undervalued sometimes. Like, I think you're going to get some pretty good value barring price. So I'd keep him in mind. And with Charlotte, I'm stuck. I'll be honest. Right. I mean, okay, Cody Martin's out, Kelly Oubre's out, but Gordon Hayward's back, PJ Washington's playing. I don't know what to, like. I feel like this game's gonna be one of the high scoring games today, so I want to take advantage of it. But at the same time, it's like I don't know what approach. But what I was thinking, more before started here, I was thinking, all right, so Markelle Fultz, we take the guard there. I think we'll get some better center value later today, so just keep that in mind. So I'm not going to take Plumlee. I was thinking more with the forwards in this one. I was thinking, Gordon Hayward or PJ Washington. With Oubre being out, I think you're going to get some increased minutes. So I honestly think I might go PJ Washington today. Well, that was kind of what I was thinking. So I'll get the 4 spot covered, and I'll go probably Washington in this one. But Cleveland and Indiana. In this one, right, Halliburton's back. That's a big story. Aaron Nesmith and Andrew Nembhard have played very well for the Pacers as well. So throw that out there. With Cleveland, Mitchell's back. I think Donovan Mitchell will have a big game. I really like his matchup. So if you can pay up, get Mitchell. He might be one of the stars you take today. But otherwise, there's not much in this game that excites me. Maybe Evan Mobley, maybe Buddy Hield, but that's really it. Okay, the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks. Right, the big story here is Mitchell Robinson's the Jericho Sims. I don't know what to do. Right, he's the starting center for this team, but he's not putting up necessarily those valuable stats you would think. So, I Embiid right now is a game time decision, so I'm going to throw that out there. Not too worried. I do like DeAnthony Melton today. I'll throw that out there. I do think Quentin Grimes, because I would imagine Melton's going to be on Brunson. I would be shocked if they put James Harden on Jalen Brunson, but that's just me. I'd imagine Melton, Brunson, and I imagine Grimes would have, Harden and, this is basketball. It's hard to say who's following who, this isn't football, but I do think, defense matters, right? So I do think we have to at least value that to some extent. But I do think the guards are going to be the move in this one, unless Embiid's playing, right? And then I think if you could pay up and get a center, you're going to get Joel Embiid. But yeah, Denver's playing tonight, so that goes with Jokic, and it's against Rudy Gobert, so that's interesting. But I'll move to the next one here, Toronto-Memphis. OG Anunoby's out today. And then for Memphis, right, Brooks is out with that 1-game suspension. I believe he's serving it today. Steven Adams out. Ja Morant, Jared Jackson Jr. both game time decisions. So another one we might be stuck waiting a little bit for some more information, but I do think they'll both play. I'd be shocked. I'll be honest. But I do think the value, right? I mean, Xavier Tillman's been the guy for Memphis. So, Tillman again, I think that'll be a good matchup for him. John Conchar's the other one. Who's going to be at 3, taking Brooks' spot. I think he'll get some good opportunity. And of course, if John Jared Jackson, right, Desmond Bane's going to be a guy. Tyus Jones. Look, I just named like 5 guys for you, but like honestly, Memphis is right now is the team that's going to probably give you the most value. So keep that in mind. Also, New Orleans when we get there here to this next game. But first, I'll talk more about Toronto. This Toronto team is interesting. Like they're starting. You look at their starting 5. I mean, when Anunoby's out there too. This is a very good starting 5. Like this is probably a top 10 starting 5. Like honestly, it's a really good group. So and they've of course had to play a lot of minutes because right the depth is where they lack. I do think Scotty Barnes honestly at the 3. I think I'd go Barnes today. Barnes, and if Jaren Jackson's playing, that makes me less on Barnes, more on guys like Gary Trent, Fred VanVleet. So Sacramento, New Orleans. This is going to be the other game. I think we might have some scoring because right now I do have Jonas Valanciunas trending towards not playing. I'm starting in fantasy today, so I'm gonna have to think of something. Which again, I'll probably start Najee Marshall maybe, right? Because Zion's out, Liddell's out. So right now it looks like Larry Nance is gonna be the 5. So talk about value. There's your guy. When I said value, I think Nance is gonna be someone you're gonna want in your lineup. Otherwise, Brandon Ingram's been hot since he's came back. I'm all over Brandon Ingram today. Very good matchup against the Sacramento. Because Davion Mitchell's going to be starting. De'Aaron Fox is out, so Mitchell's a value guard. Keep in mind, right? Their backcourt, right? Right now they got Ingram at the 2. They got McCollum at the 1. I do think though that Davion Mitchell is going to get some good minutes. Kevin Huerter has been all reliable for scoring. I feel like he's a very nice high floor play. Him and Harrison Barnes with that, and then Domantas Sabonis. I'm always all for paying up on Sabonis in games like these. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Let's go to Denver, Minnesota. Last game. Denver, of course, Nikola Jokic. He's playing. KCP's a game time decision. Not sure if he's playing. So Bruce Brown would be your guy. We're waiting right now. Of course, right. Rivers is out. Towns also out still. We're looking at Rudy Gobert, Kyle Anderson, both game time decisions. I would imagine both are going to play. So I'm really looking at. It's hard, right? Denver's got a lot of firepower. It's like, who do you take? And I think my answer is going to be Jamal Murray. Right? If you can't pay up for Jokic, right? If you can get Jokic, you might as well. But if you just throw a bunch of the high floor plays I've mentioned. Otherwise, I'd say Jamal Murray. And then for Minnesota, I like what D'Angelo Russell is doing. I might take both guards in this one. I think I'll take the forwards in the other games. I think there's better value, better, higher floor. I mean, like Conchar, I think Barnes even. Both Barnes, Harrison and Scotty. Kevin Huerter, if you can get him at the 2-3 spot, love that. But I'll go over some more value plays here before we wrap up. Again, if Rudy Gobert is playing, I think that's going to be someone potentially too, right? Because with Towns out, I mean, that just screams value. And again, Towns has been out. I hope hopefully he gets healthy and gets back out there soon. But keep that in mind. I mentioned PJ Washington. He should be circled on your teams. John Conchar, mentioned him. If you can't, or if Tillman does not interest you, right, it gets tough because there's Aldama, there's Brandon Clark. I don't know. I feel confident in what Tillman's done. We'll have to monitor more minutes, but I mentioned Davion and Donovan Mitchell. I think both. Yeah, I'd be fine with both. in that. So I think the guards, like the guards, I mean, there's some value, but I think the forwards have the biggest value today. So like guys like PJ Washington, um, right, John Conchar, who's going to be in the forwards spot, Desmond Bain potentially, right. All three of those guys are going to give you some nice value today. Even Brandon Ingram, right. I feel like he's undervalued. So I think that's something we got to monitor. I mentioned Najee Marshall. I'm talking like if you want to get the stars and you need a guy who's going to be really cheap, I think Najee Marshall is going to get good minutes off the bench. They're playing their back to back, so that's kind of where his role. Precious Achua at center. I still think you're going to get some value there, but otherwise, right. Focus on the main guys I've mentioned. If you can get Jokic in it, you get Jokic. Keep in mind LaMelo Ball still right with Charlotte. So those are just some guys maybe you want to pay up for, right? But I think I've made it clear, the guys who I'm on today, who I'm not. My lineup will be up at Drew Sports Crew, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts here, Drew Sports Crew. I'll have that all up for you all shortly. And again, I appreciate all of you listening here. I'll be back later tonight, and that'll be. You might be wondering, where is Point Brewery? They'll be with me tonight here for some Diet Point root beer, and we'll be talking some basketball. We'll be talking high school basketball. We'll be talking a lot of sports tonight on episode. What is it? Episode 100. Yep, you heard it. Triple digits of Drew's Sports Crew tonight. So check that out. Journey to Million Tuesday now. That'll be at roughly 4:15 to 5:15 ish. It'll be in like that range. You'll find it, and I'll have something all posted up at Drew Sports Crew. So go follow there for more information. Again, thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you.